Hey guys, Alex from 7th Hour Films back again with Fullmetal Alchemist Brotherhood. Last time around we had All Is One. No, One is All is One. Get those in the right friggin' order. Al and Ed went back to their old teacher, Izumi Curtis, and realized that, yes, not a lot has changed for her. She is still a hard ass, with a heart of gold, though. We got flashbacks to how Ed and Al were first trained, dropped on a deserted island to fend for themselves and figure out what does it mean when one is all and all is one. Why can't I get that right today? That's weird. And they did figure it out. They figured out the connections of the universe and how the true meaning of alchemy works. And it was really interesting. And we also learned that the reason that Ed can do alchemy without a transmutation circle is because he saw the truth when he performed the human transmutation, and so can their master. She also saw the truth, and so she and Ed are very similar like that. And yeah, it was a very, 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 very good episode, and I really enjoyed it, and honestly, I really freaking love Izumi Curtis. I think she's a great character. So yeah. But that was pretty much that. So yeah, like always, the reaction is down in the description and in the pinned comment for your viewing pleasure. So let's go ahead and jump right into this episode of Fullmetal Alchemist Brotherhood. Here we go. Alrighty. Okay. Very interesting stuff. I love this woman. She's so amazing. And I just love coming in like All Might and kicking ass. Oh, man, oh, man. Oh. Alright. Welcome back to... Alex is going to look up voice actors. Let's start with Greed, Chris Patton. Okay. The only thing I recognize him is playing Turles in Dragon Ball Z, The Tree of Might. Alright, that's kind of interesting. I don't really know. I wouldn't be able to tell apart the four henchmen, so I'm just going to move on from that. There's one character credited as Master. I don't remember that character, so the only other one I'm gonna look up is Gene Havoc, Mike McFarland. Well, it's Yajirobe and Master Roshi, so there's something. And yes, I was correct. All right. I was entirely correct that Gene Havoc also voices Jean Kirstein in Attack on Titan. Oh, no. Wait. Master. I wonder if that's... Oh, I wonder if that's the guy that was playing chess with Roy. So, Grant James? Let me look that up real quick. I think this is a different character. Okay. Hang on. I want to see if I can find that guy. Or maybe I could, look up the episode. Fullmetal Alchemist Brotherhood. Episode 13. Okay. General Grumman. I don't know if he's in anything else. I'm not looking at anything else. Bill Flynn. Okay, he plays that. Okay, so I think I'm wrong. Okay. He sounded like Zeke. He sounded like Zeke Yeager. Oh well. Okay, well, I was wrong. Thus ends another episode of Alex Looks Up Voice Actors. Alrighty. Okay, so interesting stuff this episode. First off, I absolutely love this woman. Like, she is so amazing. Like, I don't know. I don't know. She's just that. She's so good. She's so good. She's no nonsense. She's fucking tough as shit. Just fucking came in and owned that guy in 2 seconds. Oh, God. Let's talk things in order. Roy's being transferred, which is interesting. He's got his crew, who are going to transfer with him. Poor Jean, though. Poor Jean, who just started dating this girl. Maybe he could do a long-distance relationship. But yeah, poor guy has to break up with his new girlfriend. That's sad. But any scene that has Roy, I cherish with all my heart. Because Roy is that good, you know? He's so friggin' cool. So I like that. And I like him playing chess with the old general. That was really cool. Scar, we finally get to see Scar again, who's going to head off from the Ishvalan because he's bringing trouble, basically. That was interesting. Again, I absolutely love his powers that he just destroys, you know? That is still really, really cool. So, I still enjoy that. And it's interesting how, you know, they talk about his revenge and stuff, and it's like, oh, well, you know, you're just violence. It's very much the Avatar thing of, you know, even if I could defeat Ozai, and I don't know that I can, it would do nothing. History would just look at it as more senseless violence. A brother killing a brother to grant power. And honestly, yeah, the people are just going to look at this like, well, they killed his people, he kills their people, and it just goes back and forth, you know? So I like that, hearing from Scar's master as well. So that was interesting. But we have Al, who potentially saw the truth, but he doesn't remember, which is interesting. So, yeah, it's interesting how they said, you know, Ed lost an arm and a leg, Izumi lost some of her parts of her internal organs, but Al lost his entire body. So, presumably, he should have seen the truth. He sacrificed his body. So, if he can get those memories back, they may be able to learn something. Learn? Brown? Sorry. Anyway. Anywho. So that's really, really interesting. And then we meet Greed, who seems to be different from Lust, Envy, and Gluttony, which is pretty cool. So yeah. So the rest of them are chimeras, which is interesting. But he specifically is a homunculus. So that's interesting, that they're all talking chimeras, which they had to freaking bring up Nina again. That friggin' episode. But yeah, so that was really, really interesting, that they're all just chimeras, but they're good chimeras, and they're from the seedy underworld, which is interesting. But so he's a homunculus, but I guess a homunculus is not immortal. So, and that's really interesting, that it's like, you know, he has this incredible healing factor and stuff, and a body that he can repair, basically. But yeah, it's just really, really interesting that he would be looking to bond his soul to a different body, you know? And arguably more vulnerable body, you know? Like, he's looking at this like, well, you don't have all these little things that come with being, in a living body. But if anything, Al is very vulnerable. Granted, it's a suit of armor that covers the transmutation circle, but still, it's kind of dangerous, you know? But yeah, but that's very, very interesting, and he's trying to learn the secret of that. And yeah, it's interesting how he says, you know, anything is possible. You need to learn that. And it's like, well, I don't know, man. Human transmutation? That shit ain't possible, but I don't know. And yeah, we had his ultimate shield, which is basically just condensed carbon, which is interesting. And again, I love Ed figuring this out. You know, he took the time, he took a beating just so he could figure it out. And then he says like, "Oh, well, you're human underneath that. So most of, a lot of the body is made of carbon, so that must be it. And I figured it out, and now I'm transmuting your carbon, So that was really, really good. I like that. Good fight, very interesting. Again, it's a very interesting thing. Greed is a very interesting character because we are kind of beating him already, Like, when you have lust and envy and gluttony, like, they were pretty tough. But I guess we haven't truly fought them yet, Like, we had Hughes, but Hughes isn't an alchemist. But Ed, like, he was already pretty winded after fighting Slice. So, the Slice brothers or whatever. So, yeah, I guess we just don't know how strong they really are, But I like that he figured out what the ultimate shield is and was able to break it. And then, because they were screaming so loud, Izumi immediately figured it out too. And I love just her just coming in and kicking ass. And it's just, I love it. I love her. I want to keep her around as long as we can, She is so good. And I like that too at the beginning where it's like, now that you guys are expelled, you're no longer her students. You can talk to her as an equal, So I like that. I like that they're too stupid to think about that. But yeah, why would you think about that? And it's like, okay, now you can go in, hold your ground, and go to her as an equal, not as a student. So I like that. That was really good. And yeah, because she is terrifying, but they held their ground, So that was really, really good. Really good stuff. And yeah, just the fight with Greed was very, very interesting. And the talk and everything. Why does he want... It's interesting, why doesn't he know how to transmute a soul onto a body, or a soul into a suit of armor? Yes, not only has, the others at the Fifth Laboratory done that, but Ed knew how to do that too, And this whole thing with, I said this before, but the whole thing with bonding a soul, basically using alchemy on a soul to transmute it into a suit of armor, that seems like the strangest thing in alchemy to me, Like, it seems so fantastical, but it's very, very interesting. This whole thing with chimeras I kind of get, because you're fusing pre-existing life forms. A homunculus sounds like you're creating it from nothing, which I thought was the human transmutation. So is that to imply that he is a successful human transmutation? I'm not quite sure, I'm not quite sure. I feel like if that was the case, it would have been maybe, I don't want to say more dramatic, but a bit more of like, oh my god, someone actually did it, Someone did perform the ultimate taboo, So I must imagine a homunculus is different from that. But it is still a very interesting thing, It kind of makes you wonder, like, okay, well, is that what Ed and Al were going for with their mother? Or were they trying to... Or was that one thing they were looking at, and then they went more for the human transmutation? That I'm very curious about. Is it different? So, I'm not quite sure. But it's very, very interesting. And yeah, if Ed... I mean, I don't know if maybe it was just the books that Ed happened to have or something, but why is it that Ed was able to... Maybe it's because of the truth. Maybe it's because of seeing the truth that Ed was able to learn this whole thing of transmuting a soul into a suit of armor, But it's very interesting. It's very, very interesting. And I kind of like, Greed, he kind of shows up. He kind of almost is like a punk, basically. Him with, his jacket with his, fur collar and no sleeves and stuff. He kind of looks like a punk. But at the same time, I like that, what was I just about to say? Dang it. Yeah, well, nope, that train of thought is kind of leaving the station. Like, uh-oh, I'm losing it. It's interesting just that, with what he is and everything, it's like he's a punk, but he's trying to figure this stuff out. He's trying to learn this other stuff. What was it? Oh my god, I literally just lost whatever thought I was about to say, I just got focused on him being a punk. I don't know. But he is very, very interesting. So I like that. That he's trying to learn this stuff, but he is a credible threat and everything. I kind of like that, which is hilarious because I just recorded an episode of JoJo's Bizarre Adventure that'll go up the same day this is going up. In fact, it'll go up an hour before. It was Part 4, Episode 32, July 15th, Thursday, Part 2. And in that, I was so friggin' tired of the overconfident villains. And Greed kind of is that. He is a lot like that. But, I don't know, he kind of works better here, Like, it's not even just that he's trying to hurt them. He's just trying to figure them out. He's trying to figure out this whole thing with, I guess soul transmutation, basically, So, yeah. But very interesting stuff. I'm curious to see what will happen next, especially now that Izumi is here to fuck him up. So, oh god, excuse me. So yeah, really, really good stuff on this one. And I'm curious to see where we are going next. I also like, by the way, I just remembered that Ed's arm is so good now that even though it took a lot of damage, it's still working, and he managed to figure out how he then morphed it to get through that carbon. That was really good. Again, just great stuff all around. Because immediately I'm like, oh, I guess Winry's going to have to come back and fix his arm. But no, seems to be doing good. So yeah. But yeah, really, really interesting stuff. Curious to see where we are going. In the next one. And there's hair on the little nubs of my glasses, so clean that off. But yeah, we'll just see where we're going next time. But that is basically it. With all that being said, I'm Alex from 7th Hour Films, and I will see you guys next time. Take care. Alright guys, thanks for watching this video. There's a bunch of links on screen if you want to go click around to any of those. There's a playlist for all of my Fullmetal Alchemist Brotherhood reactions, as well as another video that you can go click on if you want. There's also a subscribe button and a Patreon button on screen, as well as other links in the description if you want to go check out any of those. See you guys later.